Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of the BirDie Golf Club Podcast. I'm sorry that I sound a bit under the weather and it's probably not very nice for your ears to listen to my nasal qualities today. But I thought this episode needs an introduction. There's a lot of fevers going around in the house at the moment and I thought I need to get this introduction done before I feel a lot worse. But don't worry, this episode was recorded a few weeks ago, and it is with Jeremiah Johnstone from Athalonz, and the only fever we're going to have is golf shoe fever. Am I right? Sorry. Anyway, I hope you enjoy it. I really enjoyed the chat with Jeremiah. It was fantastic. I've had the privilege of wearing Athalonz golf shoes now for just over a month, and the quality and the benefits to your game are evident. So go and check them out, athalonz.com, at Athalonz on Instagram. I'm going to stop you having to listen to my horrible tones, and hopefully you enjoy the episode with me sounding a bit better than what I do right now. If you're enjoying the podcast, by all means, please recommend it to your mates. Leave a review, leave a 5-star rating. They're small things, but they genuinely really help, and they bring a smile to my face. And I've got a fever, just in case you didn't remember, so I could do with a bit of a smile brought to my face. Also check us out on Instagram at BirDie Golf Club Podcast. Been really enjoying making some content on there, and there's plenty more coming from that. Brief thing as well, actually managed to play a little bit of golf on an actual golf course the other day, which is big for over here in the UK. Unfortunately got to the 10th hole and had to come home because of my wife's fever and then my son's fever afterwards. It's more fever chat, but you get the idea. Played 10 holes, played pretty dreadfully, but nonetheless it was sunshine. Golf is just round the corner. Anyway, enjoy this chat with Jeremiah, and I look forward to talking to you all again next time. So thanks for joining me on the podcast, Jeremiah.
Thank you for having me.
You're more than welcome. And we're going to be talking about Athalonz. Maybe just give us a brief overview of what Athalonz is all about.
Yeah, so our big kind of claim to fame is that we build technology, patented technology, into the midsole of our shoes. What this does is it helps bring the force vectors to the inside of the legs, which really helps center your weight. In baseball, this really helps with timing, helping keep that knee in with hitting. And then pitchers, we did some of the largest pitching studies ever done, and our pitchers were getting about 3.5 mile per hour faster pitches with the same effort, really, right? Just from utilizing the ground in a more efficient way. So that's really our claim to fame, is that we have different slopes, lateral and medial slopes, and built into the midsole, primarily in the forefoot, with a flat heel. So you get about 9% more ground reaction force, which helps in all sports, of course, right? So you get faster club speed, which equals faster ball speed, faster bat swings in baseball, faster pitches, harder punches in boxing. Like it works for all rotational sports. So
wow! So
and we have about 21 utility patents on that. So
fantastic,
amazing.
Well covered. So it was literally that idea of seeing the sort of data that you got from analyzing with baseball players, because that's where the company started, if I'm correct, in that sort of baseball region. So seeing that data then enabled you to go, okay, well, we can apply this to other sports. And was golf the first sport that came to your mind when seeing that?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll jump back just a little bit on that, and then kind of how we got into baseball. Our founder, Tim Markerson, he did an adult baseball camp that was taught by major league coaches, and and it never rains here in Phoenix, right? So it rains like once a year, and it just happened to rain that week, right?
So happy for
And
you.
so they
So
kind of spent
happy
some
for
extra
you.
time to dugout. Yeah, thank you. So they spent a little extra time in the dugout, and word got around that he was a patent attorney. And anytime, I've been around him a long time. Anytime that gets brought up, everybody has an idea they want to bring you.
Of course.
So usually it revolves around some kind of toilet apparatus. You know what I mean? Like everybody has that, big idea.
The game changer.
But this was, yeah, absolutely, yeah. But this was, Major League coaches heard this and they're like, oh, hey, we've been toying around with this idea. Like all the best athletes we've coached have this really stable lower half where their weight is on the inside of their knees. It's the most optimal shape to transfer that power up the chain, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they do these drills on a rosin bag to try and train you to get onto the inside like that. And they were like, oh, can we build that some kind of apparatus on a shoe to kind of get you in that position? And Tim was like, I think we can probably do that in a shoe, right? Just integrate it into the midsole of the shoe. And so that's kind of where that first came about. And then we did well in baseball. It was dominated by the big boys, the Nikes and New Balances and Adidas's, but we came out with a softball turf shoe, and more people started buying it for golf than for softball.
Right.
We're like, okay, we always knew that it worked in all these rotational sports, and golf was going to be probably the next. It was like golf or tennis, and the golf thing just really took off organically. So we got into that. So
yeah, it's really interesting.
How that all happened.
It's really interesting because I've had the privilege of and thank you again for sending out I've got the Mangrove Pros.
Yeah.
And it was, do you know what, when I first wore them, I haven't been able to wear them on the golf course yet because the weather has just been dreadful. So and I'm one of those people that gets a little bit precious about when you get something new.
They are waterproof though. If you want to brave the elements, they are waterproof. And that traction, being spikeless design, that traction is incredible on wet grass. We won 2 World Long Drive events last year in the rain. So when other people were slipping around with spikes on, everybody was rock solid. So yeah.
I'm gonna do it. The moment they get rid of the temporary greens, because that's what I'm having to deal with at the moment over here. It's a nightmare.
That's no fun.
I don't want to be on a golf course, but I have worn them to a simulator because I've been able to do that at the moment because that's a decent way to practice. And even on the drive there, and I thought, is this just in my head? The feeling that I'm getting here, I felt a completely different interaction with the pedals. I felt like my foot was in a different position.
Were you driving faster too? Was that...
Yeah, exactly. I
translate to that.
I literally just went full Vin Diesel.
There you go.
And just unbelievable.
Fast and Furious on the way to simulator. Okay, drifting.
But honestly, I noticed that first of all, and I thought, okay, I'll log that. I'll log that in my mind of okay, that's the first feeling I've got. And then I sort of run a bit of a test. I'm going to run it back again at some point on the golf course. I had just my old sort of night golf shoes. I had the Roche or Roche, I don't know how to pronounce, but just an everyday golf trainer essentially. And I wore those, and then I put on the Mangrove Pros, and I felt so much more grounded.
Yeah, that's a common way to describe it. Yeah, grounded or planted is how people usually describe it.
And I felt like I could load. I felt like I could really load into my back foot and not have the feeling of when I transfer the weight that my back foot is going to slip. Like that was my biggest thing. I could take way more time loading and then transfer to go. And again, I didn't necessarily equate it to the idea of your legs being essentially pushed more inward through the.
Oh, really? Yeah.
I didn't really equate that idea in my head of like, oh, of course, like that's a much more sturdy position rather than sort of them being equal to each other and in distance apart and straight and all these other things that must happen over shoes. So, and I I hit the furthest 7-iron I've ever hit in my life. Like
Nice.
like 199-yard carry on a 7-iron. It was insane. It was too.
Beautiful. Yeah.
It was probably a bit too much, but I was trying to force it. I was trying to really.
That's a common thing we get, especially with pros that have it dialed in so much with every club,
Yeah,
is that they're like, sometimes I have to go down a club. So there's like a coordination factor of like, you have to kind of, recalibrate everything, because you really do lose less energy through the chain. So, you get more of what you put into it. So,
absolutely.
yeah, it's fun to see them really work, right? Especially, the more kind of professional golfers that they put them on, it's like they immediately get that biofeedback, right? That you were kind of feeling in the car. They're like, oh, whoa, what's going on here?
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
it's always fun to see. We think of our shoes more as equipment, than just shoes, right? So it's fun to see the equipment work for them. It's a training aid basically you can play in. So
And that's an
yeah,
interesting point as well, isn't it? Because so many golfers just buy a shoe based on a look.
for sure. Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
you got FootJoy, who obviously have done a great job in the golf space of the sort of premium golf shoe, and then the classic look, which is
yeah.
a really nice looking golf shoe.
Worked well for them for a long time. Yeah, for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah,
But people don't really factor in technology in golf shoes. I
right.
think that was something that really stood out when I first came across Athalonz on Instagram.
Yeah,
The main focus of the golf shoe is, yeah, look, this is a good looking golf shoe,
right.
and different designs,
Yep,
but the main thing is the tech that's going to
correct,
make your golf better.
correct.
And again,
Yeah,
I could have looked at that as, okay, is that just somebody saying things,
which
because
is typical, right? It's like
yeah,
that's the industry. There's so much marketing gimmick stuff out there, right? That you kind of just become numb to it. You're like, yeah, yeah, whatever. But then when you put them
exactly.
on, you're like, oh, whoa,
Yeah,
there's something going on here.
yeah, yeah,
So
exactly. It's not.
I had that with a pro pitcher, right? So we had a
Mhm.
pitcher for the Mets come in, and I told him all about the shoes and what they do. And then he put them on and felt them, and he was like, "Oh, whoa, I'm feeling this and this and this." And it's like, even though I just told them that, it's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
it's still they have to feel it to believe it, and then
yeah,
and like, well, this actually works. So it's always fun
exactly.
to hear.
And the quality as well of the
Yeah,
shoe as well. You see online, and you see. I mean, one of the factors obviously is everything made in it's a US sort of
yeah.
based shoe, which
We're
is
the only made in America golf shoe, the only one. And
very
it's
rare,
incredibly
isn't it?
expensive,
It's
and that's
crazy.
why we're the only ones. So sadly, but we have much better quality control with that. We're very very selective in the materials that we use.
Yeah,
Uh, so yeah, our materials are, I mean, they're on par with some of the most exclusive high end brands out there. We're talking, you know, multi-$1,000 handbags and shoes,
yeah,
and we're using the same stuff. Plus, we're waterproofing it, so we're taking it a step further too.
yeah.
Yeah, so we,
And
we don't we do not skimp on any of that.
and it really shows. Like, I mean, it may have been the softest thing I ever felt was the inside of the
Yeah,
shoe.
which is so hard to show online, right? So hard to have a
Yeah,
picture and convey the softness, the butteriness of the leather, and then when they get it in hand, they're like, oh wow,
yeah.
So
You can't have like somebody's finger just sort of touching it because that's weird for a
yeah,
photo.
that's very weird. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't want to make those kind of videos. That's kind
Someone
of
pinching
creepy.
the inner soul. But it honestly was like that was the first thing I noticed, and then the Manor logo on the back with
Yeah.
that sort of white leather, which really stands out really nicely. And then also, I get confused on terminology with shoes. The
Hmm.
bottom part,
Hmm.
which was
The
made from,
outsole or the
yeah, the I believe that's the right thing. The part
outsole? Yeah, yeah.
that made from recycled um
So the
uh
midsole.
the midsole. That's what we're
Yeah.
looking for.
So the midsole is made from an upcycled sports shoe midsole, um,
Right, right.
and it's a very very high end product. But so basically, when they die cut their midsoles, we
Hmm.
take all that trim pieces. We buy
Hmm.
that from them. We chop it up, put it into our molds, and then we tune it to our specifications,
Hmm.
which is better than theirs. So,
Hmm.
but we get to tune to give it more bounce, more resiliency, and it just gives it way more durability. So these suckers last, a really really long time.
Amazing.
But with that, we can actually play with the colors too. So
Hmm.
we can get some blacks in there. We have some grays. We have that the blue one, which I don't believe that's the one you got, but the blue
No, the
one looks
black.
like
Yeah,
it's radioactive. It's like it
yeah,
almost glows. It's a really cool color.
yeah.
But yeah, we get to play around with that kind of stuff. So it's fun with design as well.
Exactly, and obviously the sustainability part of it as well. I mean, one, the
Yeah,
fact that it's all made in the US, so
yeah,
you know whoever's making your shoe is getting paid a fair wage for doing so, and
100%. Yep.
the working environment is great. I mean, last week on the podcast I had Christian Cohn from Green Up Golf. I don't know if you've seen him at all on
No,
Instagram and
no.
everything like that. He won the best new product at
Oh, nice,
the PGA show this year,
nice.
and he makes golf tees and accessories from upcycled coffee waste.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
And he was saying that that's a huge part. And again, he didn't make any bold claims of because I said to him, I was really happy that I came across your Instagram page and you didn't say that this tee is going to make you drive the 10 yards further or straighter. Like there was none of that. It was just this is going to basically give you a clear conscience on the golf course that you're
right.
using recycled goods, and this is
Sure.
the way forward for golf.
Yeah, yeah. It's a
And
feel good product. I like that.
he said that comes with a cost. That's unavoidable. I can't do as many as you could get from China, made from bamboo, for
Right.
£5 for 100 of them. That's not going to happen. That cannot
Correct.
happen. And I think that's
Correct.
obviously something to recognise with Athalonz as well. It's a premium golf shoe that does of course come with a premium price. What challenges have you found with that, obviously?
Um, I mean, there's quite a bit, right? It's like the pool of people that are looking for, just a cheap shoe,
Sure.
is pretty large. So, but thankfully, there's a good number of people out there that want, a more ethically built product with just higher end materials that actually gives you something back as far as like real energy return, right?
Yeah.
Um, so we think we have that trifecta of like, premium product, premium build. Uh, they're hand lasted, which is very, very rare.
Hmm.
But in doing that, we can actually get it, a more kind of one to one custom fit
Yeah.
to the last. Um, and yeah, there's definitely challenges, right? It's we have pretty rough margins because of that. We should be charging probably $150 more than we currently do,
Yeah.
to get it into retail and whatnot, but we choose not to.
Hmm.
And so it's direct to consumer only, cutting out the middleman, which is like that other kind of gimmick, right? But
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
real for us. We turn down retailers all the time because we just don't have the numbers. So,
Exactly. It's
but
sustainable
we,
going forward then as well, right? Because
yeah,
trying to say a big retailer came on and they want to order X amount of shoes, you've then got to make
yeah.
that happen. And will that realistically happen with the model that you currently got? I mean,
They take a long time to make too. Like I said,
yeah.
I have a video on our website, but just that hand lasting I mentioned,
Hmm.
that's a 20-second, process in a machine,
Hmm.
overseas. Um, I have that video on there. Just one pair, just like the left shoe, took over 9 minutes to do.
Wow.
So it's like it's a massively different, scale economy kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, but that's part of it. That's part of what you get, what you're paying for sure.
And I think there is a leaning with people more towards um going with products who they know the person. I think
Right.
that's something that seems to be happening, and people are willing to pay that extra amount for that as well.
Yeah.
Especially if they, like you said, they can walk away and know where it was made, know what it was made
Right.
from, know the time and effort that it's taken to do that,
Right.
and they'll be willing to pay that premium price. Which, like you said, even that is just about making it work.
Sure. Absolutely.
You could be charging a lot more.
We
Um,
really could be. Yeah, and it's justified too. There's
yeah,
a lot of brands out there charging triple what we do, and you cut them open, you dissect that shoe.
yeah,
It's nowhere near worth that, right? And ours is. You know,
yeah,
I don't want people cutting our shoes up, but
Ideally not.
But when you
Ideally
do,
not.
you'll see why they are, the price they are for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for the audience who may not be
You
aware
do
that maybe,
violate the warranty if you cut it up. I'll say
yeah,
that.
I'm going to make sure I don't cut it up now, just for
Yeah,
sort of
yeah. I'll chop them in
Instagram
half.
purposes.
They're
Watch
not
me cut
waterproof
up.
anymore when you chop them in half.
So maybe for people that haven't visited the website, haven't visited the Instagram page, what's
Yeah.
the line of? We'll stick to golf, obviously,
Yep.
because it's golf podcast. But
Yep.
what's the line of golf shoes that are out and available for people to have a look at, and what are the different? What's the different sort of? Trying to think of a way.
Like attributes of both.
Yeah, let's go with
Yeah.
that. That's a
Yeah.
great. That's
So
a
right
great
now
word choice.
we have the mono line is our made in America product. And right now we have 3 models. 2 we have good inventory of right now, but the third one is a hemp product that's really, really hard to make, really hard to source. So the inventory on that can kind of be spotty. But the main 2, the mangrove, that's more the pro model, right? That's what all the pro golfers we have, all the long drivers that we have, which I think we have at least 7 of the top 10 in the world wearing them. I think we won in 6 or 7 events last year. Many of those events we took first, second, and third, so it was a nice little dominant,
Wow.
victory out there.
Everyone
but
on the podium.
that's the one that has the traction that's, our grip and glide patented traction, which helps restrict the external rotation but allows internal rotation. So between that, the midsole has more of our OAP, what we call it, so it's optimal athletic positioning. So it has more of that to give you a little bit more ground reaction force and a little more sway resistance. And the waterproofing is fantastic. Now the other one's the break wall, and that's kind of our more casual kind of offering, but you do get about half of the OAP that the pro model offers you. And then it kind of gives you a kind of a versatile traction pattern you see on most spikeless golf shoes. But you can wear that one out to a dinner, which I do all the time, and we get people that report back. It's like, hey, I had a guy go to Cabo. He's like, I just brought your shoes. He's like, all the dinners, playing golf, like everywhere I went, just your shoe. That's all I needed. Yours and flip flops. That's all you need.
Yeah.
So that's what that shoe kind of offers you.
Yeah, exactly. And the hemp based products, is that the break wall, or is that the
hemp one is SG, so it stands for sustainable
SG?
golf. Yeah, sustainable golf is what that one stands for. So that one you get the 85% of the upcycled midsole, and then you get the hemp upper too, which is antimicrobial. It's breathable, it's water resistant. Hemp is incredibly strong material. It's just hard to source. It's hard to make shoes out of too.
Yeah.
And it doesn't play nice, but it's a fun product we're optimizing it. We're getting it down pretty well, and so we should have those back on the website soon.
That's amazing. Yeah. So there's the variety of, and colorways as well. There's a variety of colorways. I've got the mangrove pros in black.
You got the black with the white midsole, right?
Which is really cool, because I didn't, I hadn't really had a pair of black golf shoes. I tended to always go with the sort of white or whatever it may be. But actually, they're great. They're great, and the performance. I think with that shoe, like you said, that's the biggest takeaway: the performance, comfort, and performance. And I wanted to thank you personally, and we're going to get very personal here. We'll talk about my feet.
Okay. Let's go. Let's do it.
Now, I've been a window cleaner for 16 years, basically, as my normal job.
Nice. Yeah.
And the issue with that is you spend quite a bit of time on your feet in boots.
Sure.
Normally not the most comfortable things in the world, whatever it may be. And one of the things I've always suffered with, it's getting very personal, but here we go. We're doing it. We're talking about feet. We're talking about shoes, but it's like a thing called a tailor's bunion, right?
Sure,
Which is just on the outside. You probably know, just on the outside of the foot. And most shoes, especially when they're designed to be more aesthetically pleasing, sort of pinch at the top. Whereas obviously the Mango Pros come with that wide toe box, which I think is kind of throughout throughout your product line, you sort of go with that wide toe box. Is
We
that?
do, yeah. We kind of call it an athletic wide, so it's wide
Mhm.
to kind of give you that room to splay
Yeah,
and give you a nice kind of wider base for better stability, but it's not so wide where you're sliding around,
right.
right? So it's
Yeah,
kind of a nice blend between the two.
and that improves athletic performance
It
as well.
does, yeah, it does, yeah.
Is that because
So
of
yeah,
the?
when you can splay and you can use your feet better, recruit more muscle fibers to create power and create stability.
Mhm.
Yeah, overall you know you're gonna feel that in your swing.
Yeah. Well, it makes them just
And you're gonna
super
feel it in your
comfortable.
comfort too. Yeah, yeah, exactly. There you
Makes them
go.
super comfortable.
Yeah,
For me, like wearing as much as I possibly can. I mean,
good.
my little girl thought it was a bit much that I wore them on the school run.
No, do it. Yeah,
But I said, well, I'm comfortable.
yeah, yeah,
So my comfort is
yeah.
paramount.
Yeah, we had a YouTuber review him not too long ago, and I think he said the word comfort like 17 times in his review. He was like, I can't tell you enough, how freaking comfortable these are. Not just
Yeah,
for a golf shoe, but any shoe.
yeah.
He did the same thing. He just wore them all day. So,
Yeah, it's
and that's what we
unavoidable.
designed for.
It's unavoidable how comfortable
That's
they
kind of where
are.
that mangrove name kind of came from.
Okay.
Just a mangrove plant.
Hmm.
It thrives in saltwater environments. It thrives in freshwater environments.
Hmm.
And that's kind of was that mindset is that this is going to thrive on a golf course. It's going to thrive in just your daily life too. You can just wear it wherever. That was
So,
kind of the mindset behind the name.
yeah, yeah. Ah, that's
Yeah,
fantastic. That's really good. That makes complete
we
sense
put too
now.
much thought into the name, but that's what that's what it's about.
Everyone does that. Everyone does that
Yeah,
with
right.
everything. It's like, oh,
You have to have a story behind it, some thought behind it. So
yeah, yeah,
everything else
yeah.
is well thought out. You might as in our shoes, you might as well go with the name too.
Absolutely. So you mentioned you got the long drive side of things, obviously, where that's been really, really sort of net positive for you. I think it sort of aligns in a lot of way. I was talking, I've got a podcast coming up soon with Lance Reeder from Crank,
Yeah, yep, yep,
and he had that similar experience. Obviously, with Crank, it took off massively in long drive because that's what he
absolutely.
competed in. He
Yeah,
wanted to change the fact
and
of just
he's our neighbor here, and
right.
he's in Chandler, I believe. So yeah,
Oh,
same town.
there we go.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah,
he wanted to just solve an issue of long drive,
yep,
of breaking heads, everything like that.
yep,
And and you've obviously gone into that space as well because one thing they're going to need is some decent traction
yes,
when it comes to trying to produce that level of power, and that's been
yes, correct.
successful. But obviously, the long drive community is a relatively small. It's definitely made inroads into the golfing world far more with Bryson obviously going into that space, Carl
Of
Berkshire
course.
being a very likable character and his
Yep,
YouTube and everything like that.
yep.
So, how have you found the transition of trying to move more into just the sort of regular professional golf sort of level? Has that been easy or has that been a little difficult?
It's been a little difficult. We got into long drive really organically. There was an event
Hmm.
here, and we just went as a spectator, right? And
Hmm.
one of the competitors, um, he'd been in long drive for about 7 years, never won an event, got some top threes, but never won. And he just happened to be our size, and we gave him the shoes, and he ended up winning that event.
No
And
way.
yeah, and then a few weeks
Wow.
later, he won the next one. And so then all the guys were like, "What the heck did you change, right? What club change did you do? What technique did you change?" And he
Hmm.
said, "Nothing. All I did was change my shoes." Right. So then the Justin Jameses, the Kyle Berkshires, like everybody started wearing them. You just had to, right? So
Yeah,
if somebody has a competitive advantage, you can't have that. You got to get the shoes as well. So
100%.
yeah, it became very organic, and it's because it the product actually works,
Yeah.
right? It creates a physics advantage. It works for everybody. So why not using them? Why
Hmm.
not use them, right? You're at a disadvantage if you don't use them. So of course, wear
Hmm.
them. But then that became a thing where we got asked a lot, like, oh, well, are these long drive shoes? Can I wear them for golf? And I was like, well, of course,
No.
yeah, no, absolutely not. Yeah, you'll putt it 400 yards, like you just can't. But yeah, obviously we created a golf shoe, and then it just kind of organically worked super well in long drive. So yeah, kind of overcoming that hurdle was a little bit of a process, but now I think everybody gets it.
Yeah, yeah, of course, yeah. And if have you got any current sort of pros on tour that are wearing the shit?
You know, we have several Corn Ferry Tour players, the PGA Americas
Hmm.
tour. You know, I think they combine the Canada and the Latin America and all that and created that. So quite a few players on that. Um, and you know, even on the female side, you know, we have
Hmm.
the Epson Tour ladies wearing them as well. And that's where we want to kind of stay right now. You know,
Yeah.
when you start getting into the PGA, that ask is super high,
Mhm.
right? So we've had players wear them and go, oh, these are amazing, and then here's my ask, and you're like, oh my god. So
Yeah, yeah.
you know, so well, we'll be there at some point, but you know, it's been interesting what's happening in the industry and kind of in all sports really is that you know the pro athlete uh, marketing value, the top guys are worth a ton, right? But then
Hmm.
everybody kind of like in the middle or lower, you know, not worth as much as like they used to be, right? It's like the almost like the trust factor is gone
Mm.
with pro athlete. You know, people just, oh yeah, I'll just assume that he's being paid a ton to wear it. You know, where
Mm.
that's not kind of the model we want to follow. We want people to wear them because they work, right? Just like everybody started
Absolutely.
wearing them in long drives. It's the
Yeah,
same thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And you've probably found the marketing tool of which is social media, which
Yeah.
wasn't really around, what, yeah,
That's
10
what's changed it.
years ago. You know,
Yeah. That's
essentially
what's
this
changed it
idea
all.
of the influencer or whatever it is that may
Right.
be, just people with social media presence, essentially, that can offer a different marketing um strategy for you guys, which I'm,
Yes.
can see through your account you've utilized as well. Um,
Yeah, yeah, and same thing there. You know, we just work with people that love the product,
yeah,
right? You know, we want to be as transparent with that as possible. You know, and yeah, they got to be good people and love the product and completely get it. And
yeah.
yeah, we've been very fortunate, and you know, we found a lot of good people that way.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And they just, like you said, then the product speaks for itself rather than the idea of, well, is that person just wearing it because they have to? You know,
Yeah, 100%. And you
are
know, the
they?
consumers are smart. You know, they see through that stuff.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
and there's no need. There's plenty of amazing influencers out there that get it, you know, that want the product that works and are really into what we're doing as far as a patented performance thing, and then you know also the green, sustainable, you know, ethical side as well. You know,
yeah,
so why wouldn't you want to align with us really?
yeah, absolutely, yeah. And what about you, Jeremiah? When it comes to your golfing, how is your golfing?
Oh my goodness.
And I have to ask
It's
people as well, what is your handicap?
yeah.
Because that's how everyone sort of, sets the barometer with golf, isn't it? Like,
Well, I will say, you know, we did start in baseball, right? So it was like, you know,
exactly. Yep.
so that was our main focus. That was our baby for a long time.
Yeah.
And so, you know, when we started getting really into golf, I had a pretty bad back injury right around that time. So, you know, it's strange. I can do a lot of things. I can go mountain bike the craziest, you know, thing, and you
Yeah.
know, I can go play basketball or whatever. But man, I swing a club, and it's like, you know, I might be on the ground, you know. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like for
Yeah.
some reason, it's that shearing force and that
Yeah.
rotation
I
that
guess
really
the
gets me.
torque of
Yeah, the
like,
torque. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. And you know, I played. You know, I was a football, basketball, track and field guy. You know, so it wasn't a natural movement for me. So
hmm,
I've been working on it. Luckily, we have a great simulator place that moved in next door to us, and
very nice.
yeah, yeah. Shout out to Tea Times, but you know, it's a good spot to kind of to work on it. So I'm getting it together. I'll
Yeah.
get out there soon, and just
Yeah.
a lot of rehab to kind of get that back shored up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unfortunately,
Well, you got to make
yeah.
sure, because the trouble is, like you said, it's just going to get worse otherwise, isn't it? So making sure that you, I had a,
100%. I don't know anybody that's had a back surgery that has gotten better,
no,
right?
no.
It always gets worse, right? You start fusing things and the problem spreads above and below, and yeah, it's rough.
Yeah.
So I gotta take care
I
of
had a
that first.
friend who was I think he was two handicapper, and
Hmm.
he had back issues, ended up getting really bad,
Yeah.
but he didn't want to stop playing golf.
Oh, sure. He's
So,
addicted. Yeah.
so he was like, okay, The issue is with the torque that I'm creating when I turn to the right. So I'm
Yep.
going to learn how to play left-handed.
Oh wow.
So he just worked
Hmm.
on playing left-handed because he had no pain. He had no pain, obviously,
Right.
because all the torque is being generated on the opposite side of his back. So he learned how to play. He got down to like a 7 on his left hand, which
Oh
is
wow.
just it's just
That's
horrible.
incredible.
Yeah, it's incredible. It's horrible, also. That someone can be that naturally
Yeah. Yeah.
gifted at golf. That's a
Right.
that's a tough
Right.
one. He beat me with
Yeah.
either hand, which is difficult.
Yeah. That's
And
depressing. I don't like that.
yeah,
I don't like that at all.
and he now sort of
Why
comes
are
out
you
with
trying
a
to show off? You know.
he now
Dude.
comes out with a mixed bag as well.
Right.
And he'll get to certain yardages and he's like, oh well, that's now left-handed pitching wedge, not a right-handed one.
That's wild.
So yeah, that's it's a lot to deal with, to be honest, that sort of thing. So
Go to therapy for it.
I'm considering it. This is
Right.
my therapy for it. If I
I
get to
recommend
talk,
it. Okay. Good. 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 Glad I can help.
I feel better. I do feel better now, actually, which is
Good.
good. So what's the for 2025?
Yeah.
What's the plan for Athalonz this year? What's your, I know you've no doubt had company
Roadmap.
meetings, boardroom meetings. What's your roadmap for 25?
Yeah. So really, it's promoting the break wall. It just came out. The kind of end of December. So that's our new product.
It's a gorgeous looking shoe,
Cool.
by the way, the break wall.
Oh, thank you, thank
Gorgeous
you.
looking
Yeah,
shoe. Yeah.
it's another one of those when you get it in the hand, you're like, oh my gosh, that looks amazing. And it's like the pig leather lining we have on the inside. It's incredibly soft. It's all those little kind of surprises when you get it in your hand. You're like, wow, it's pretty exceptional.
Yeah.
So it's really getting those out there is our focus. We have 2 different colorways now. We have a white and sea salt, which I actually have. Um, So the white and sea salt, which is basically white on white kind of thing. And then
Yeah, it's
we
lovely.
have.
Yeah.
Can you see that? Is that in there?
Yeah, I can see
Yeah.
that.
So that's the white and sea salt, and then we have the white and gum. We call it 3 Mile Beach.
Yeah.
So tried to get it like the sand on 3 Mile Beach, and
That's my jam.
oh, good. We're in alignment. This is my jam as well.
That
So
is a special looking golf shoe.
yeah,
That's one you see from a way off and you're like, well, that's different and I love it.
what's going on with that? Yeah. So
Yeah.
3 Mile Beach is in oh my goodness, I blanked on the island. Oh
I
my
can't
god.
help you. I
Yeah,
can't
the
help
Hawaiian
you.
island. Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, I'll have to come back to that. That's horrible. Molokai. There we go. Oh my
Okay.
god. So there we go. Got it eventually. So yeah, we're really proud of these, and then we're coming out with a kind of spring summer color as well. So we're calling breadfruit. So kind of another tropical theme, right? So that's a green one. So you have the green midsole on that guy.
Nice.
So that and then we have the NV2 that we're working on. So our original golf shoe was the NV, and we're working on the NV2, which I'm wearing right now. Kind of a sneak peek on this guy.
The exclusive. Oh, that is very nice.
So
That's got a slight sort of Jordan-esque sort of feel
everybody
to
says
it.
that. Everybody said I've been bringing this to some demos, and like everybody's asking that. Yeah.
Yeah, I really
So
like that.
we're on a round 2 sample, and we got a couple more rounds to go. And
Yeah.
I've beat the heck out of this. I've done some hikes in the snow and hikes in the desert, and really trying to wear test the heck out of it.
Is that generally your product testing sort of like regime that you do? Is it let's just take it to the extremes and see how these things hold up?
Oh, 100%. And that's a really good point to where the long drivers come in. It's we get it on those guys' feet, and it's a good stress test for it, right?
Yeah.
If it holds up to guys, swinging with 230 mile per hour ball speed, it's gonna basically stand up to anything, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Between them testing it, some local Corn Ferry Tour guys, and then I beat the heck out of it in the gym and on hikes, and all kinds of other extreme things that no one else is gonna do in it, but just to make sure it can do it,
Yeah. Absolutely.
So yeah, that's exactly, it's R&D life, is that.
Yeah, well, that makes sense because there's a company in Scotland that make golf gloves, called
Okay.
SRV Golf, and he did the
Right.
exact same thing. He was like, I'm tired of my golf glove wearing out, and
Sure.
I'm not even. He's like, I'm not even swinging that hard, so why is my
Right.
golf glove wearing out all the time?
Right.
And he took it to long drive guys,
Oh, okay.
his
Yep.
product, and he's like, just test and test and test. If it holds up to
Yeah.
you, it's going to hold up to anyone. And he makes
Yeah. There's
just
nobody else putting that kind of forces into the ground and stress on it, right? That's
exactly.
if it lasts a month with them, it's going to last 2 years with the average person, right? So
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
As far
Yes,
as R&D kind of thing, that's been super valuable. Yeah.
of course. Yeah, and it's just like you said, it was a natural sort of like, okay, cool. Well, they literally they want the
They're all
product
wearing
because
it anyways. Yeah. Yeah. So
it's
yeah,
winning tournaments for people that haven't won before. And
that's right.
so
That's right.
does Carl Berkshire still is still using Athalonz and anything like that as well? And
No. I mean, he won his first world long drive championship in ours.
mm,
And then another big shoe brand. He became friends with DeChambeau.
yeah,
DeChambeau was with a certain brand at the time, and he let us know. He's like, hey, you guys are offering this, and we're like, oh yeah, go
yeah,
definitely go
well
get that.
played. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, well played, good job. Yeah, but he's a huge fan of the product still, right? He knows they work, and yeah, we have a good relationship.
it's again sounds very similar to Crank with Bryson,
Right,
obviously, with the fact that he's still using Crank.
correct.
You know,
Yeah,
he's being completely open and honest. Obviously, LA Golf is his brand; it's going to be his
yep,
thing. So,
yep.
and it's nice. I think it's a general thing in the golfing community. It's definitely something I've felt when doing this podcast is that there is that collaborative effect. I think, especially with brands at a certain level as well, with brands that aren't maybe at the very top when it comes to
Sure,
with their marketing budgets and everything like that, because
yeah,
they can do things that obviously other brands can't. But there is that
absolutely.
general
Yeah.
collaborative, very welcoming idea, and also the fact that okay, fine, well we'll touch base again down the line because you know how
Hmm.
good our product is. We'd love to work together
Absolutely.
again. But
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
what
We're
we
all
can
going to
do right
get
now.
bigger and better, and we do something different than everybody else does, right?
Yeah.
So um, we have differentiators that nobody else has. So we don't see everybody as competition. We're
Hmm.
just focused on what we do.
Yeah.
So uh, I don't know that a lot of brands can say that, right? There's kind of a lot of Me Too kind of brands out there, like, oh, I'm another golf shoe too. And it's like, well, yeah, what we do is completely different. And maybe it's not perfect for everybody, but
Yeah.
if you know, right? So yeah,
No, absolutely. Well, I mean, I think the shoes are great. I can't wait to properly like
yeah.
actually
I
feel the
can't wait to hear
effects.
your success stories, right? We get so many of those, and it's like, man, you know, what a nice little bonus to doing this is like hearing the success stories.
Yeah.
We love that. So
I'm going
yeah, I'd
on a
love
bit
to
of
hear
a
back on how it's working, and we'll have to get you in the 3 Mile Beach too. So we'll
oh, I mean, yeah, I
work
mean
on
that
that.
that's that could be a special little summer shoe. That one, that
That's right.
yeah,
That's right. We'll save it
that
for the
would,
second podcast or something.
yeah, absolutely,
There we
absolutely,
go.
yeah. I mean, I'm going on a bit of a speed journey at the moment, so I'm making sure that I'm in my
Okay.
mangroves for that.
Yep. Yep.
Um, because again, I want that traction. I want to literally feel what I'm trying to produce, and
Yeah.
I would feel now that I've got those, I would feel ridiculous wearing anything else that I've got to do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. You're gonna lose more energy, right? And it's not a
Mm,
good feeling. Like so, yeah, definitely stay in ours for that.
yeah,
And you'll find as the more you use them, you'll get more coordinated with them, and
mm,
the numbers will keep climbing too. So people always see a nice little bump immediately,
yep,
but then the more they work with it, they're like, oh, I can do this now. I can do that now, right? You
sure,
talked about loading more in the rear leg. Well, now you can actually push more with the front leg, with the lead leg, right?
yep, yep,
And get even more of that torque going. Um, so yeah, just keep playing around with it, and
yeah.
numbers are going to keep climbing. That's fun.
I guess on that as well, are there any tips you'd give for anyone that may be looking to go and pick up some Athalon shoes, and then what they could actually maybe not thought of doing before that they could actually do now to pick up some speed, pick up some accuracy through the fact that they're able to stay over the ball better, etc.
Yeah.
What would be your takeaway tip if somebody's wearing Athalon shoes?
Yeah, I think you just you unlock, so much more stability that don't be afraid to push it. I
Yeah.
think that's just it. They kind of stay locked in patterns,
Hmm.
but now you've basically unlocked a little cheat code where you can actually get more out of it. So don't be afraid to put more in because you're going to get more back.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And with the innovation side of things as well, is there more when it comes to that? Because obviously, like you said, there's a graph on the website which shows the shoe, which shoe it is, and how much on a is it a 10-point rating system, how
Yes.
much
Yeah.
of the effects you can feel across the board on different
Correct.
stats that it can provide different
Correct.
attributes.
Yeah. And when the NV2 comes out, we're gonna have to slide some of those numbers down, right?
Right.
That's gonna be the new top performer. So
Really,
we're
yeah.
excited. We're
Wow.
excited about that. There's gonna be even less energy lost
Hmm.
with that shoe, and then we're coming out with an insole system as well. We had it in the past, but it's for our old model shoes that were a little narrower, a little bit different build to
Sure.
them. So we're coming back out with new and improved versions of those.
Hmm.
So, that should be ready in a couple months. And then you'll be able to really fine tune that OAP even further. And then we'll have another even higher tier where you're going to actually have less movement inside the shoe and really capture even more energy. So
Wow.
we're excited for that stuff to come out. So you know, that's, we're working hard to get that
Yeah.
as possible. So
It's balancing everything out, right? Because you got production,
for
innovation.
For sure. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
yeah,
We're trying. It never happens as fast as we would like, but it's gonna be right when it comes out. So we're,
absolutely.
we're, we're thrilled for that. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think it's great. I thank you for taking the time during your day as well, Jeremiah. Like you said,
Well,
you've
thanks
got
for
a lot
having
of
us.
things going on,
Oh, a
and
ton. Yeah. Yeah. We can keep going. Yeah. So just
I,
because I am the designer of them, I can just, kind of geek out on this stuff for a long time. So
I love it. We'll have to do another one. We'll have to do another one at some point and
excellent.
get
Yeah.
even
Look
further
forward to it.
into. I feel like I've only scratched the surface of Athalonz and everything that you guys do over there. So
Yeah, for sure. We do some different stuff. And so it brings up a different kind of conversation. Right. So yeah, we'll definitely do it again.
I feel like I'm gonna have to do some baseball research because I'm not the best on that sort of side of things. It's not, you know, we do a bit of
We're having a great
softball at school,
resurgence.
but
We're having a
yeah,
great resurgence because the word is that the Nike and Adidas's aren't. I guess they're not going to be paying the kind of mid-level guys
oh
anymore,
wow,
right? So we're having a lot of them, come to us and say, "Hey, now I just want the best thing available." So
right,
and now they're coming our way, which is really fun to see. You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
so like
Yeah,
that Mets pitcher I talked about, he's like, wow, he's like, my velocity's up with the same amount of effort. I was like, I told you. So it's pretty exciting. It's fun to see it work.
Yeah, because you see
Yeah,
like the top level baseball, I'm aware of like the crazy figures that are
yeah,
which all seem to be they're going to be paid in like 15 years time, which I don't it doesn't seem to
they're
make
insane
sense.
contracts. Yeah, insane contracts. Yeah, but they're it's really top heavy though, right? It's
Sure,
like
yeah,
they're getting all the it's like boxing. It's like the headliner gets all the money and everybody else is kind of scrappy,
yeah,
But
yeah,
um, but yeah, the mid-level guys, they're looking to play better. They're looking to get that big contract, and
yeah,
so we help improve their game. So
amazing.
why not roll with us?
Well, I hope they just keep on coming back, and
Yeah,
in both
I
spheres.
think they will. Yeah, it's been really fun to see. So we're gonna have a ton of guys out there in spring training here soon wearing the shoes. So
Yeah,
this can be really exciting.
I hope that continues to happen. I hope it happens even more in golf as well, in the professional side of things, but also of just the everyday golfer realizing the benefits.
It works.
Golfers spend so much money on
Yeah,
buying new irons, new wedges, new driver every year, and
yeah.
yet they continue to use the same old shoe just because it's what they're used to. It's not actually really giving much performance. So,
Correct. If a club did what our shoes do for them, we could just ask our price. It'd be,
yeah, yeah,
we'd say 3,000. Yeah, here you go. So,
yeah. Well, they're getting made false promises every year with a
sure.
new driver that's going to fix the system, it's going to change the game, everything like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
They can
And just a
genuinely
fraction of what our
make.
shoes actually do. Yeah.
It can genuinely make. I mean, I literally
With
felt
every
that.
club too, right? With every club, it works on
100%,
every club, even putting.
100%.
More
Yeah, yeah,
stable in
yeah.
putting.
Hmm.
Yeah.
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 Well, I can't wait to take it out on the course. I'm going to let you know my feedback. I'll do a course review on them as well.
Oh, great. Yeah.
And make sure to tag you guys and everything online. Everyone can find you guys, athalonz.com.
Yep. Athalonz.com, ATHALONZ.com. And yeah, everything's on there.
Yeah, and
We have free shipping,
Athalonz
so
on
we ship
Instagram.
everywhere. So what's that?
Athalonz on Instagram. Yeah,
Correct.
You kept it really simple, and that really helps. Because
yeah, good. Yeah. You try, you know. Hopefully, you reduce the friction and you see some benefits from that. So try to keep it simple.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thanks, Jeremiah.
Thanks,
really
Dave.
do appreciate it. Have a lovely day in that lovely warm weather that you're experiencing.
Will do. It's 80 degrees. Looking forward to getting out there, soaking up some sun.
Fantastic.
That vitamin D.
Lovely. I'm sure you can have some nice barbecues and everything like that as well.
Absolutely.
I'm not jealous of. I'm not jealous.
That's good. Yeah, not at all. Why would you be?